Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump dominated Iowa. We talked about that on this channel. He will dominate the rest of the primaries. Vivek Ramaswamy has dropped out, fully endorsed Trump. Vivek was awesome. We'll talk about that in a second. Haley was third. Didn't even get second. You can kiss New Hampshire goodbye. That was never going to happen anyway. It was just a matter of how large the lead Trump eventually achieved in New Hampshire. He's indicted with 91 criminal charges, ladies and gentlemen, and he completely crushed it in Iowa, and he will regain the Oval Office because everyone on the planet, everyone with a functioning brain cell knows that they're going after him purely for partisan and political purposes. They would never go after with prosecutorial discretion Democrats in the same manner. Hit subscribe to this channel. I'll have a live stream around 6 p.m. Eastern time, maybe 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I will have a live stream at 11 p.m. Eastern as well. Hit subscribe to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. My Patreon is below. To my new Patreons, thank you. And the super thanks is below, next to the like and the share buttons. I have a pretty cool video where I lift 90-pound dumbbells, incline press, just another side of me that you might enjoy. That's below in the pinned comment, one of the shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump, we had record low poverty with Trump. We had record highs in household median income. These are all facts. We had record low poverty with Trump in 2019. We had record highs in household median income, meaning people had money. There was more wealth for every family, for every individual in this country. There was more wealth, less poverty. What is wrong with that? When Bernie Sanders, and I used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and I was the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. My writing was read hundreds of thousands of times, each article, each opinion piece that I wrote in the Huffington Post and Salon and The Hill on behalf or, favoring Bernie Sanders. When you look at what Bernie Sanders is saying about Trump, Bernie only wishes that he could have the economic legacy of Trump. Bernie Sanders, along with Democrats, stood by and pushed and advocated shutting down state economies. Trump didn't want to do that. That was not his policy. In 2019, before Democrats gleefully shut down state economies because of bureaucrats and a fabricated consensus where anyone who disagreed was marginalized and shunned and demeaned and disparaged and suspended on then Twitter or banned. In 2019, and even before 2019, we had record low poverty, record highs in household median income, record low unemployment, with inflation that was, less than 3% or so? Interest rates were around 3%. Less than that. Mortgage rates were around 3%. Now mortgage rates are closer to 8%. People cannot buy. When young people complain, like 25, 26, 30-year-olds complain about how they can't buy a home, maybe you should stop voting Democrats in the Oval Office. Maybe you should stop voting for people like Biden who flood the country full of strategic petroleum reserves because they said inflation was only temporary. And they go after the typical Democrat Biden is. He says, he cares so much about the planet. Then he goes after oil and gas companies in the U.S. Then he begs countries in regions of the world that are in turmoil now to increase oil production. Then he goes back to the oil companies in the U.S. and says, you know what? You should really increase production. You're price gouging. And it's like they ended up suing Biden. And within the lawsuits, numerous states sued Biden because of his energy policies. They said, your energy policies are going to cause inflation. And the inflation went up. And inflation numbers are still going up. For rent and food, they're still up. Real wages have been down under Biden up until recently. Real wages were up every year with Trump. The economic record is undeniable. You'd have to be a complete imbecile not to at least acknowledge Trump's economy was a million times better. And then his foreign policy was obviously better. We wouldn't have had the quagmires in numerous regions of the world, okay, with Trump. Number one, he would have focused on deals, and his entire administration would have truly defended the allies that should be defended. We'll leave it at that. And focused on some kind of peace deal to prevent the ongoing atrocity in Europe. Democrats claim they care about that country, but I mean, it's like it's been going on for a year plus, close to 2 years now. 2 years now? And you don't want no end in sight? You care so much about human beings in another country, but you don't care that they continue to just be in a never-ending military conflict, and you're a morally superior liberal Democrat, and all you care about is this Cold War foreign policy. Then you get these intel officials from other countries saying that Trump is a national security threat. That's why you vote in the United States of America every 4 years, because you want a different foreign policy. When the imbeciles and pundits, I'm being redundant, on the left said, why is Trump so nice to the Putin? Well, it was not a matter of, it was President Obama who wanted a Russian reset, and it was Hillary Clinton, who I still think will be opposite Trump in November of 24. Whether Biden is the nominee or not, I still think Hillary Clinton will be the opposite, and she could possibly win, but I think Trump will regain the Oval Office. There was a big reset button with the foreign minister from that country. Okay, it was Obama who ran on a reset. It was McCain who was hawkish. It was Romney who was the hawk against the Kremlin, and it was Obama who said the 80s want their foreign policy back. So I mean, all of this is like ancient history. 10 years, 5 years ago, it's all ancient history to media and Democrats. Nikki Haley is no longer a viable alternative. Neither is DeSantis. But excuse me. Nikki Haley was deemed as the only person who could stop Trump. They would indict Nikki Haley. They would indict DeSantis. They already are trying to, actually, because he sent human beings to Martha's Vineyard, and of course the good people, the good liberals at Martha's Vineyard, I think gave them Frosted Flakes and a whole big bag of Lucky Charms, and said, "Gosh, we don't have the resources. We're sorry." It's like, well, that's the exact rebuttal from conservative Republicans for years and years and years, especially in Texas and Arizona and California and other parts of the country. So it's like these simple political lessons are lost on Democrats. But we had 4 years of Biden. We're now going to have another 4 years of Trump. There's nothing stopping Trump, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing stopping Trump. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. And it's going to be so wonderful when all the morally superior liberal Democrats who gave you lectures on how bad Trump is and how much of an authoritarian he is and how much of a despot he is and how much of a totalitarian he is, when the American people once again bring Trump back into the Oval Office, because they tried the Democrats again. Didn't work out. Okay, we had 4 years now. Crime is up. Poverty is up. There's turmoil around the world. We did not have this with Trump. And don't blame his last year on him. More people lost their lives in the first year of Biden's administration from you-know-what. Democrats gleefully tanked their state economies. They didn't have to do so. And we did not have to listen to any fabricated, stupid consensus on anything. Especially if it was foolish. Like actually shutting down your economy and making everyone unemployed, which countries usually go to battle to prevent. Give me your thoughts below. Trump is back, baby. Like I've been saying, hit subscribe to this channel And God bless America. We're finally going to have somebody save us from this madness with Democrats in office. Give me your thoughts. Hit subscribe. Thank you.